Hi guys, Judy here. Okay, so I want to make a video. You haven't heard from me or seen me because I've been really hidden away with Christ, and I really enjoy that intimacy and that time with Him. And I've asked that I could sit with Him in the garden during these last moments on Earth and in world history. Before he told me when he fell on my son in 2013 that what he's about to do is harder than the cross. The cross was hard, but what he said was, sorry, my son's in his room laughing. But what he said, he's watching a show. And what he said was that because it's harder than the cross, because he told me when I went to the cross, it was just me that had to endure the pain. But now I'm going to see ones that I created and love choose to be apart from me, and that breaks his heart. And like I said, God is not impotent. Our Father will save. He told my son most of creation will be saved. So you can thank God for that and be confident in your prayers. But most is not all. And some, because of the hardness of their heart, they just will not turn. And God knows that. And love does not force its way. And so God will do everything He can do. But that's why it's harder than the cross. He explained it to me. He'll be separated forever. Because when he went to the cross, He said it hurt, but He knew what He was doing was going to be to save creation. So it's why He endured the pain. It was the joy set before Him, all the people that He would be in eternity with. And He told me that the joy set before Him for judgment, for judging the world, which is ultimately His grace. I like to call it gracing the world, but for judging the world is the bride. We are the joy set before Him that's giving Him the ability to even just endure this. And it's so hard for Him. He has to just, I hate to say it, but He has to just kind of look away for a minute. Because it's just one of those things where it's just so hard. And so when I tell you I've been sitting with Him, I'm very busy. But you can be super busy like I am and be all tucked away with Him, because how you do that is you're constantly thinking about Him. You're always thinking about Him no matter what activities you're doing. Even if you're, vegging out on Netflix just to give your mind a break from everything, I'm still with Him. We're always together. We watch movies together. We relax together. Everything is Him. I work with Him. Jesus works with me. I feel His heart toward my students. He's with me. We're always communing 24/7, even when I sleep. And you can too. There's nothing to it. I don't have some secret recipe. It's just very simple. You just engage with Him. Think on Him. God told me it was really sad one day. He said most of creation largely ignores. He said I'm ignored by most of my creation, even those that say they know, they love me. They ignore me. And I just cried when He told me that, because I know I ignore Him too sometimes. And I'm like, God, I'm so sorry. But anyway, so one of the reasons that I am making this video is because I just want to tell you how close we are. I want to tell you how close we are to the Lord's return for His bride and the beginning of judging this earth. Because right when the bride goes, the final rapture, judgment begins. The light of the world is taken away when we're gone. We come back on the fourth day, and the light of the world comes back because we come back. But, let me tell you, it's about to happen. And I just want to explain to you what He's been doing with me. So I've asked God if I can sit in the garden with Him and not abandon Him, like when He went to the cross, but like really be there for Him. And so He's answered that prayer. He's like, okay, you can sit with me, but you're gonna have to feel what I feel. Are you, are you ready for that? And I'm like, yeah, for sure, until it happens, and then it's horrible, and I'm like, God, take it. I can't take it anymore. I can't take what you have to. This is horrible. So He'll lift it, but he'll let me feel it, and and let me tell you, it's a love so deep, it brings me energy and life. It's a love so deep, it makes me curl up in a ball and cry out of pain, because true love can feel both the pain that true love brings in the sinful world, the pain that it brings, and the tremendous life and energy. It's both good and bad, because what happens is when you give yourself in true love, in a sinful world, you're going to get hurt by it. It's just the bottom line. People hurt people. We hurt God, and so he has let me feel this intense love for creation, and he does it in kind of interesting ways. I don't want to get too much into it, but I'll just say this. That's what I have been doing. I've been sitting with him. I have been feeling what he feels. I had one emotion that he let me feel that he feels that was so intense. It brought me to my knees. It was so intense. And I endured it for a bit, and then I said, please lift it now. I think I can't survive. I'm not trying to be dramatic, you guys. But when it says that he was so stressed out before the cross that he was literally sweating blood. I really felt like that if he didn't remove it soon, because I was sweating. It was bad. But I just thought, oh God, could I literally sweat blood? This is so horrible. But one of the things he let me feel was when creation loves the creator more than, or when his creation loves the created ones more than the creator. And he goes, now you know how I feel. So the Lord caused me to love somebody that loved him, that loved me more than he loved him. So how God let me feel this emotion was he caused me to love someone, and this person that he caused me to love loved me more than he loved God. And I could feel it. And God says, you see how that feels? It hurts. I give him all this blessing. I do all these nice things. I even let him love you. And what does he give me in return? Like he loves you more than me. And I could feel his jealousy, but I could feel his sadness. It was more sadness because he's like, I'm the one that gives the good gift. And then instead of loving me and thanking me, they just put it into the created one. And that was an interesting thing that happened in 2014. And so after he fell on my son in 2013, I said, Lord, I'll sit with you in the garden. I'll go through all these emotions. And I want to ask you, Bride, if you could please share that with me, and you do it too. I've discussed this before, but I just really want to ask you. We're about ready to go home, and we can share the load and share his heart. It's both good and bad, so be ready for a roller coaster ride. That's why I called him the bipolar king of kings. It's up and down, but it's him, and it makes you feel alive, and it's beautiful. And who cares if it makes you feel crappy too sometimes, because you're doing it for him. We don't just serve God because of what we get out of it. And believe me, we get a lot out of it, and I appreciate that. And that's one of the incentives. Okay, his many benefits. I'm not going to lie about that. And he knows I like that. So I'm glad. I'm going to admit that. I serve him because I get a lot out of it. He's amazing, and he blesses me. But I also serve him when I have to sacrifice, because why wouldn't I? Look what he did for me. I'm going to sacrifice. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not some angel over here, okay? I could do a lot more than I do. And most of the time I feel like I don't do near enough because of all he's done for me. But I will say that I do things that make me very, it's not fun. Some of the stuff I do isn't fun. It's him, and just everyone thinks if it's God, it's going to be all great. No, it's not always. But it's him, and so in that respect, it's great. Okay, but like so I love it when I feel his deep love, and I feel his compassion, his joy, and all that. But then I feel, he lets me feel the joy that he feels over the bride, and that he's going to see us soon. So it's not all bad, guys. Okay, it's wonderful. It's half and half. It's up and down. It's bipolar. But then he lets me feel the sting of it. Oh, He lets me feel when people just put their fist at him and flip him off and just accuse him and say vile, nasty things. He lets me feel the anger of that, and then he lets me feel ultimately the tears. Okay? He angry, but also it's like, this is why I say he's angry, but then he's also sad. And I've been sitting with that emotion with him. And I don't know if I want to get in the details of how he makes me feel it. But he lets me love unlovable kind of people. He lets me love people. He lets me love all types of people, okay? And a particular one he's let me love recently is one that, puts his fist up at him, is one that used to love him and now hates him and denies that he lives and ridicules him. And God has let me feel the sorrow over that, the anger over that. And I'm going to tell you right now, God told me to cut it off now. And that is a huge sign. So here's the whole point of this video. Well, the whole video. But this is the huge point I want to make to the bride, because you're like, hey, get on with it. When are we getting out of here? Okay, it's any minute now. And here's why. He told me today and last night, cut it off. It's time. It's time. Repent or perish. So he had me cut off, and I could feel that emotion. I could feel the anger last night. I could feel the anger. I could feel the sorrow and sadness, and it really literally ripped my heart. But he told me to cut this person off. Now they have to make their choice. And that's what God's about to do in the judgment. And believe me, most are going to get saved. Most are going to repent. Most are going to turn to him. God is not impotent. He's answering our prayers. But it is time. When he told me that, I'm like, oh, we're going home any minute, because that assignment, it's over. This person has made their choice. Much of creation has made their choice. But for now, but you wait until tribulation hits. You wait until the rapture and stuff hits. Most of these, people that put their fists in the air and act all cocky and say there's no God and ridicule my beautiful king and put him down, and they are going to be bowing their knee to Christ. All of them will bow their knee, but some will actually bow their knee and actually get to go to heaven with him, because they're going to repent. The ones that choose hell are still going to have to bow their knee to the King of Kings. So you might as well bow your knee and be one that repents and goes to heaven. Because either way, if you choose hell, you're going to be bowing your knee and you're going to be in hell, which is no fun. So I appeal to you, bride of Christ. This message is for the bride. I'm asking you to sit with him in the garden and share in his emotions. Tell him you'll be there for him. I don't know what he'll put on you. You might not go on the roller coaster ride that I go on. You might not, or you may. But just say, God, I want to be here for you, and I love you. He'll appreciate that. He's our groom, and he loves you, and he loves me, and he's about to make all of our dreams come true in a moment. Let's make his dreams come true by being with him in fellowship and loving him. And, that's what this season is about. And so just get intimate with him. And I love you guys. It's spiritual intimacy, and it's beautiful. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And, but anyway, I just want to tell you we're going home very soon, because he told me to cut it off. When I felt him say cut it off, he was saying, that's what I'm about to do. It's over. Cut it off. I have to do it now. I have to do it now. Judgment's coming. Now they have to learn the hard way. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And I felt it. I'm done. Because I was like, I'm done. I'm done. So, he's coming, Lord. He's coming. He's coming. The Lord is coming. I love you guys. Bye.